guys, Broheen here from the Gamers Emporium. What's going on, everybody? So today I just want to talk about the Iron Banner and how you can prevail in the Iron, or I should say a couple tips to help you prevail in the Iron Banner. Whether you do prevail or not, that's up to you. Of course, we all know the Iron Banner, it's a little different than the Crucible, so with that being said, your light matters, your light level, your guns, and how much damage they do and how much they're upgraded matter, and of course the normal player skill definitely matters. So there's going to be a few tips here for you, I guess. So let's start with more or less checking it out. So the Iron Banner is another faction. You earn reputation. Right now I am rank 3, and which opens up a few things that I'm going to show you. So the Iron Banner is only available in the tower, and it's only available from time to time. I haven't seen it for about 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure when the Iron Banner comes, if it's on a set schedule or not, but go to the tower, you come in down there, you kind of run up past the bounty board, and you'll notice that this door is now open. So I don't think there's any other vendors in here at this point in time. There used to be people down at the end, but the Iron Banner guy is over here on the right. So let's go take a look, see what he has. He offers bounties. So the bounties are going to help you with experience and leveling up your guns, and they're also going to give you more reputation for the Iron Banner itself. Now, you have to be pretty much, well, rank 1 will get you this. Now I'll explain this in just a second, but most of the good stuff starts coming out at rank 3, where you can then buy, legendary boots, legendary gloves, legendary weapons. And let's take a look at these here. For instance, they're a 36 light to start off, and you can upgrade them with an etheric light if you ever get one of them, for that matter. I mean, you only get them out of the reef stuff, so, and you have to be doing at least the level 34 in order to get them, which I have not done myself yet, but there is a solution to this. So these can upgrade to 42 light, and you need everything to have 42 light on it in order to reach 34, which you'll see here. I actually took some Crucible boots and upgraded them into 42 light. You can do it with pretty much anything. So the point is here, the higher the light level, the better you're going to do. So with that being said, getting all your stuff maxed out is greatly going to help you, but I was doing the Iron Banner since level 32 this week, and I powered up to 34, and even at 32 with the weapons I have, typically I use Thorn in there, because everybody uses, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people use Thorn. A lot of people are using the Trials of Osiris gear in there, and they're just absolutely dominating. But Thorn, because of the dot where, rounds pierce targets cause lingering damage over time, that really helps a lot. So shoot them twice, maybe 3 times, and then let them run away, and they'll die just because of the dot. So I don't really have a preference on what actual subclass to use. That again is up to you. So going back into here, try to get some gear, try to get up to rank 3, do as many of these bounties as you can, and once you are rank 1, you definitely want to buy this. It doesn't say anywhere in here. I had to actually look on the Destiny Wikia for it, but using this emblem while you're in the Iron Banner actually gives you 10% increase to rep gain. Now, when you're rank 3, you can buy this one. However, it's still the same 10% rep gain, so I did not buy it. I might, just because I like the look of it a little better. But this guy, the Fellwinter's Iron Bond, I'm not rank 4 yet, so I have not been able to test it. I'm hopefully going to do that tonight. But with rank 4, you can buy this bond. And as you know, the bonds, well, I'm doing straight Vanguard, so bad example, but I have a Future War Cult bond, so if I were to gain any reputation, I would think reputation gains would apply to the Iron Banner. However, that is not correct. So what I'm thinking happens is, after searching it on the Destiny Wikia again, it doesn't give all of your other stuff from like doing strikes or doing missions or anything like that to rep gain, but what I believe it does, well, it says it does, and it does 10% rep gain while you're in the Iron Banner. So I'm thinking if you get this bond and you use one of these emblems, you could have a potential 20%. Now, I don't know if that's confirmed, so if anybody has that answer, please leave a comment and let me know. I would love to know, but I'm going to buy it anyways just to see. Now, the biggest thing, etheric light. Here it is. Now, this one says rank 5 because I purchased one for rank 3. So once you get rank 3, you can buy your first etheric light for 5,000 glimmer. Then it moves up to rank 5. So once you get up to rank 5, then you can buy a second one, and I'm not sure if it goes up to 7 from that point on or anything like that, but I guess we'll find out. Hopefully I'll hit 5 today. And finally, it's definitely a good idea to spend one mode of light on this 12-hour buff, and basically what it does is it increases event standing gained. So that would be this here. So you want to make sure you have the buff up every 12 hours. It's good for. So every 12 hours, one mode of light. So I've been working pretty hard at this, and it's been pretty fun. I never liked the Iron Banner when I wasn't the highest level, but now that I am, it's actually really fun because I can actually kill people. But I could kill level 34s at 32 also. So that's the vendor. I don't think I'm missing anything with this vendor, except some of the stuff is kind of pricey. I mean, you know, 1,000 glimmer here, 2,000 glimmer there, 5,000 glimmer for the etheric light. So it starts to get pricey, so make sure you're managing your glimmer properly. Now, back to the bounty board out here. There's some bounties, actually I believe all of the Crucible bounties, they all actually work with the Iron Banner. So even though some of them say kill 2500s in the Crucible, I've actually only played Iron Banner all week, so I haven't touched a Crucible at all. And just to confirm for you, where are we at here? Defeat 2500s in the Crucible. I need one more apparently to complete it, but it does work in the Iron Banner. So that's good to know. So you can actually do these 6 bounties plus the 6 bounties from Iron Banner all at the same time if you're just going to do straight PvP. So that's cool. That's a lot of potential experience to gain. Back to the weapons.
Goodbye, Guardian.
The weapons more or less for the Iron Banner are very similar to the Crucible. Any Trials of Osiris weapon in the Iron Banner is going to dominate over anything that's not, because it's going to be very, very high impact, and they're just kind of very, very raw. So with that being said, it's kind of like when you're going up against the Trials of Osiris weapon, it's kind of like going up against an exotic. So I don't have any Trials stuff, so I'm pretty much using my exotics. Now what you want to look for instance, this rifle is called Her Right Hand, and this one I believe I got doing the level 28 Prison of Elders, so it's a PvE rifle. And then this guy down here is Sylentchaos Wrath. So the difference between these is, I mean, they're basically the same, except the impact on Her Right Hand is really high, but the fire rate's low. You're going to notice that the weapon stats are weighed a lot differently when you're, you know, using a PvP weapon and basically versus PvE versus PvP. So the difference being, and I'll equip this and show you, PvE is going to have, sometimes depending on the weapon, it's going to have either more or less impact, more or less range, more or less stability, and more or less rate of fire. So the biggest difference is Guardians don't really have that much health compared to a lot of the enemies out in PvE, so the impact on an auto rifle is going to be higher in PvE. It's also going to be lower in PvP, but however, the rate of fire and the stability is what really makes the Sylentchaos Wrath kind of OP in, you know, and I'm not saying that Sylentchaos Wrath is OP, but it's what could make it OP when you're using it in PvP, because when you're firing, it's firing nearly as fast as any gun can, or any auto rifle can, and it's completely stable, and you can actually max that stability out. So being a 40 in the magazine, if you're somewhere medium range and you just want to pump a guy full of lead, that's the gun for you. So now there is also, like, this Payment 6 has a higher fire rate. You'll notice a lot of the PvP weapons have a higher fire rate. Basically, whoever can shoot faster is going to win. So the fire rate on this guy, we'll put you there. Well, I've also got the Oversoul Edict boosted, but because this weapon can be fired in full auto, so that obviously affects the rate of fire. But compared to any other pulse rifle, this Payment 6 is actually a very, very high rate of fire. I had a spare change, which is another pulse rifle, and that one fired absolutely slow. And I actually got that one out of PvP, but the impact was really high. So you'll notice that weapons with, they're either going to have a very, very high rate of fire and high stability, or they're going to have very high impact, and that's how you know that they're going to be more so geared for PvP. Rocket launchers and machine guns, I mean, they pretty much wipe anybody out. Same with the snipers here, like this low-grade humility. I got this out of PvP, and the impact is kind of low, but the range is really high, and the rate of fire is a lot higher for a sniper rifle. I mean, compared to the icebreaker, it's still lower. No, the icebreaker is still slower than the low-grade humility, and even the black hammer fires really slow compared to low-grade humility. So shotguns is also where it's at. Any shotgun that you can have that is a ridiculously high impact, and then you can re-roll these second ones too. Like this shotgun can be fired in full auto, and it should also have the one, I can't remember what it's called, but it should also have the one on it where you can look down the sights and it'll be more accurate. And that's the best way to run the Matador 64. But the Matador 64 I see drop all the time. It's a very common shotgun used in PvP as well as the Party Crasher. The best one in my opinion is Fellwinter's, but I haven't gotten my hands on one of them yet. So, and then as far as the gear goes, more or less an Iron Banner. I run everything high armor. I seem to live a little bit better with the high armor, given the fact that weapons that are at 365 are going to do more than like a weapon at 331 or 300. So anything at 365 has the capability, especially if it's like a hand cannon or a sniper, to either one shot or two shot. More or less the one shot with a sniper and two shot with a hand cannon. But they're very deadly, and it makes any weapon that way. When you're in the Iron Banner, it's pretty fucking brutal. So as far as I know, what I'm working on over on this side of things is this helmet. It's basically going to allow me to use Nova Bomb more often. And although Radiance is cool in PvP, but if I can slaughter people with Nova Bombs over and over, in my opinion, that would be the way to go. However, I'm still leveling that up, and I'm not level 34 with that. So I typically run the Sunbreakers from the old school stuff, where I have it upgraded to light level 42, and pretty much Radiance come back to life, and people typically kill other people in there, and they forget that Warlocks can Radiance, so they run away, turn their back around, you get up, and you punch them in the back. So whatever you do, use it to your advantage, and you'll be just fine. So on that note, there's not really many items to cover in here, other than save your weapon parts for rerolls on PvP guns if you're into PvP that much, and try to get the right rolls on them with the Weapon Master if you can. I've tried and could never get the right ones, so I settled for half the right ones. So I think that concludes the video. So I hope some of these tips help you. And I've seen it's worth checking out online, looking for tips for like Trials of Osiris and the Iron Banner on when to play it and when to not play it, and when the high traffic zones or when the high traffic times are. During the high traffic times, most of the people that are really good are playing. So typically on like oddball time of the day or oddball day in general, obviously the first night it comes out, people are going to be swarming it and trying to get it out of the way, as well as the day before it ends. So I would say, play somewhere in between, play odd hours. You're less likely to run into those people that are just going to stomp you repeatedly, and that's basically what we've been struggling with, losing 5 to 10 games in a row before we win one. So But that concludes this guide for Destiny and the Iron Banner, and like I said, hopefully the tips help you. If you guys have any other tips to let me know that I can pass along, please leave a comment and let me know what they are. It'd be greatly appreciated, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.